Hey, this is CG1 and thank you so much for joining me once again. I want to share with you about something I was watching the other week, and it's about that Gillette ad on "Is this the best a man can get?" It's quite interesting because whether you agree with it or disagree with it, or whether you like it or don't like it, you can't deny the fact that it raises a lot of questions. What does it mean to be a man? What's wrong with men? Or what's right with men? But I think that there's a big problem in our society, if I'm being completely honest. And the big problem is true men. We actually don't know what it means to be a man, because over the past decades or so, there's been a great shift in what it means to be a man. Now is not what it means to be a man back then. See, it's quite interesting actually, because let me give you an example. Man up. Don't act like a woman, act like a man. Be a man. All of these phrases are phrases that you may have heard before, or this, that and that. But what do they mean? See, are they the true reflection of what it means to be a man? Or it can mean different things to different people. But I think the fundamental issue, or the root issue, is not being spoken about, or it's not portrayed even in that ad. See, you just can't show me good behavior, bad behavior. If I have a plant here and that plant is dying because the leaves are not being watered, so the leaves are showing me that it's dying. See, those leaves show me that there's a problem, but the solution's not necessarily in the leaves. I need to look deeply rooted stuffs, like look at the root to see the problem. That if I add a bit of water and it's getting enough nutrients, that it come alive. So for me to show you the dead now alive, the problem's in the root. And similarly, for me to say man up, what does that mean? Is it even right for me to say that? But there are some absolutely scary stuff, because like that leaf with the root, it shows a picture. And in the same way, in our society, in our Western world, you'll be shocked to find out that about 40% of children growing up without their biological father. Now you're probably thinking, Joe, I mean, there's many issues in the world, but that's a fundamental problem. That's a huge problem, because a lot of men are growing up without their dad, and as a result, where do you think they're learning how to deal with their emotions? What does it mean to actually deal with emotions? See, what I've kind of realized, especially in our society, is that, well, you might agree or disagree with it, but I think that there's so much call for men to be like women. I mean, a lot of guys are growing up with their mom, and fair enough, women give a lot of amazing stuff, but there's also a need to have your dad around to learn certain things from. And in much sense, one of the key aspects of being a man is learning how to deal with your emotions. If you ask me, Joe, what's wrong with men? There's a fundamental issue with a lot of guys not growing up with their dad. And as a result of it, they don't have the role model, the sense to know what it means to be a man. How do I deal with my emotions? Because what's happened in our society, you see, it seems culturally unacceptable for me to come up to another guy and say that, oh, I feel sad, or for me to pronounce that I feel sad, or I feel this, that and that. And so what a lot of guys are doing is, sad that they may be, they filter it through aggression, they filter it through doing this and that. And so when they feel sad, they unleash it in an aggressive way. They're abusive with their words, they're abusive with their fist, and this, that and that. And in much sense, it's not that they're just angry, it's just that they're sad, but they're throwing it out through the filter of anger, because then you know that, oh yeah, that's a real man. He's aggressive, he's competitive, this, that and that. Some guys are not that aggressive, some guys are not that competitive. It's important to understand that, man, the fundamental thing is not trying to be like a woman, but it's in essence trying to be like a man, dealing with it in the right way. There are massive differences between a man and a woman. other than the glaring physical differences. It's so important in our society to not be misled by all of these superficial things, including that ad that just shows that this bad behavior, good behavior, bad behavior, good behavior. At the end of the day, there's a fundamental issue. And one of the key points that it raises, though, is that true manhood is something that is learned through amazing, great men. And that to be a real man is to stand and be an example to many men, because a lot of men don't know what it means to be a man. They leave their responsibility at the neck of it because they are not able to deal with responsibility. I want to challenge you to be who you are. Know who you are and live that out. Because remember, we all have the seed of greatness. This is CG1.